that moment will be remembered forever, and he will be an Arsenal legend for that moment. And there's always huge moments. And you talk about, is it a good thing or a bad thing? Who's still famous for Manchester United winning the first Premier League title?
Brucey.
Steve Bruce. Those 2 last-minute goals, or certainly one of them was a last-minute, maybe the other one was as well, against Sheffield Wednesday. Those scenes, Brian Kidd on the pitch, Alex Ferguson, they're still shown out as legendary moments. That moment will be remembered forever. We'll be watching it back in years to come if Arsenal can go on and win this title.
You on the group chat, you said big moment for Arsenal.
It was. Again, I think the questions throughout the season is their resilience, and there'll be blips in the road, and could they do it? But in those clips that we just showed there where they were coming back, they still had composure in the 90-plus minute. You know, sometimes you just dump it in the box and it's not a good ball, but they still had composure and there was a calmness. And even at 2-0, I know it sounds weird, I never ever believed they were not going to come back and win the game. Especially at the Emirates, there is something massively happening at that football club, and I would say the women's as well. They had a brilliant weekend, men's and women's successful, Arsenal women winning the cup. There's something happening there, and you have to embrace that. And I think the players are now starting to believe it themselves.
Are you starting to believe it? Is it going to take them all the way to the title?
The one thing I would say is they've got 3 away fixtures, Liverpool, City and Newcastle, which I think will define the season for them in the title race.
And they lost all of those last season.
Playing in Europe, you know, Thursday to Saturday, Sunday now, coming up, that kind of dealing with that. But the way they're going at the moment, you know, they have a little bit of luck as well, but I'm just concerned with that, those 3 away games. And for me, that's probably why I love what they're doing, but I would still go with Manchester City at the moment.
Jamie?
I've been going with Arsenal of late. I do think it's a 50-50. I think Arsenal do need the lead that they've got on Manchester City. I think City are strong in a lot of areas in terms of what they've got off the bench and to change a game. And I just think Arsenal need to get to the international break in the same position where they are, 5 points clear right now. But you look at Manchester City, I mean, last few weeks they've almost been winning the games a little bit with ease. The Forest game, they were a little bit unfortunate. More often than not, you win that game.
Key players are coming back into form.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is they've still got the FA Cup, the Champions League, so they could be on for the treble, you know. And I mean, you could say they won this game with ease, but you think of some of the chances Newcastle missed, you could easily be saying they were trying to get a winning goal late on, did happen, didn't happen. But the narrative around Arsenal is because they haven't won it. So when we're saying, is this a positive? If Man City score in the last minute, win a game, we say, oh, great mentality. Because it's Arsenal, we're saying, oh, they're choking, that they've got to score in the last minute because they're not playing well enough. But that narrative will change as soon as they win. If they win the title, we'll be saying something different next season. But a big thing that you should give Arsenal credit for is, I think when Jesus got injured, they were 5 points clear of Manchester City. How long's he been injured? Now, what are we talking, 2 months, 3 months?
Yeah.
They're still 5 points clear. So you've got to give them massive credit for that, because there was a lot of questions asked, and he's about to come back, and he was an absolute revelation in those early months.